everybody, and welcome back to your Healing Corner. My name is Dorothy, and I am excited to have you back here with me today. So the month of March, if you guys remember, is all about sowing the seed. Some of you had the opportunity to jump in and do a little experiment with me last week and actually sow a natural seed. And I think I did a green bell pepper, and my son did a green bean, or at least his school is. And you could have chosen any seed of your choice to actually sow in the ground. It was just a visual reference for what we are doing spiritually. So if you guys are still doing that challenge with me, that's awesome. Very proud of you all. If you're on this channel, that means you're journeying, and I'm proud of you for that. So I just want to give you a big, huge hug and a pat on the back, because it really does take courage to begin to sow the seed. It even takes courage to identify that you want to sow the seed. So with that being said, let us jump right into it. So the topic for today is sowing the seed, old trauma, new drama. So I had some questions and I had some concerns that some of you either sent to me via email or pulled me aside face to face for those of us who are local. And I'm thankful, and I want to thank you for trusting me enough to even want to put your questions and your concerns out there. My aim is not to shed light on who does it. I believe in just being anonymous, and most of us have the same questions and concerns anyway. So now let's jump into it. So today I wanted to tell you guys that while you are sowing your seed, and we did brush on this topic briefly in previous videos, but I know that it is still a concern for you guys, and I just wanted to bring it to your awareness, because some of you might not actually be having any difficulties at this time, and we're happy for that. Or some of you are, and you just haven't exposed it or said anything yet. But I don't want you guys struggling. I'm here to encourage you, and I'm here to just keep taking you to the next step and the next level, and so on and so forth. Now I want to bring to light that while you are sowing, things are still going to be happening, right? And if you think about it, the fact that you're sowing means that you're probably going to get an attack somewhere here or there. I want to take you back to the natural seed. So when we took the physical seed and we put it in that safe place, which was the soil, which was rich in nutrients. If you remember, you guys should be taking your notes, right? Because I'm recapping it, but nothing locks in what you learn more than actually writing it down in visual reference. So now it's in the soil, it's in a safe place for the natural seed, right? But guess what? Seasons are still going to happen. You're still going to have that harsh winter or that harsh summer, or the spring. You're going to have fall. So you're going to have all of the changes of season. It doesn't change just because you sow something in the ground. Things still happen in and around us all the time. Essentially, what you are saying when you are sowing your seed is that you trust God with it, no matter what happens, no matter where it is. I mean, if it's in Alaska, it's safe. If it's in Florida, it's safe. You trust God enough that your faith is to the point or to the level where you trust God with the seed no matter what. We know that God can make anything flourish in any environment. That's the God that He is. Now, we're wise enough to know that we have our part to play, and if we position it just right, if we try to put it in an environment that is more conducive to growing, and we actually pray and we do the things that we talked about, fasting, that we give it a better chance to grow. But God does the growing. We don't do that. Our job is to trust and to sow. That's what the word says, that we are to sow, and that you reap what you sow. So you know that reaping is coming, right? Let's keep that locked into our mind. So let me look at this. I wrote some things down so that I can stay on track and really cover the basics and the topics that were of main concern to some of you, or that I prepared in my lesson. So one of the things that I want us to keep in mind is that sowing is a measure of the expression of faith you have concerning yourself, your family, your finances, your physical state, etc. and etc. That means you're trusting God with something. You're sowing a seed for a purpose because you're trying to catapult change, right? So essentially, this sowing that we're doing is a measure of us invoking our desire to change or have some betterment in some areas in our lives. So again, we're sowing. The fact that we're sowing doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen. What it says is that we trust God, we believe and know it, that God is able to do everything but fail. Right? So you're trusting God with that seed, and it's a measure of our faith. It's a measure of our faith that we're trusting God to invoke change in these areas that we're sowing for, right? I hope all of you had that down. Please write it down. I'll say it one more time if you are actually trying to write as I speak. So remember, sowing is a measure of the expression of faith you have, I have, we all have concerning yourself, family, finances, whatever matter you are invoking your desire to change or make better. And remember again that things are still going to happen. You might even find that even more is happening because whenever you get close to a breakthrough, you're going to have the forces, Satan is going to try to actually break you. But I'm telling you, you are not going to be broken. You are going to break through and you're going to be at that victory line. Remember we spoke about last week, seeing ourselves at that victory line. So that was essentially my message for today. So it's all about trusting God, knowing that things are still going to happen in and around us. So let's jump right into the questions. So the first question that I got is, am I really over it? So that's the question I got in a nutshell. There were some other things highlighted, but for just I would say just for keeping privacy, even though I'm not naming names, we're going to sum it up as what the root is. Am I really over it? This is a common question, guys. And if you're sitting there or standing or at work or driving and listening to this, you're probably feeling it too. If you've experienced anything before, you get that opportunity in your mind where it tries to come back again and you're like, oh my God, you feel like you're reliving it. You don't know what to do. What do you do? So let me give you a pointer. Whatever you feed is going to live and thrive for as long as you feed it. Let me give it to you in a way that you can understand. We eat, we consume food for energy because eating fuels us, it gives us energy, it keeps us alive, right? So it's our duty to take care of ourselves. Now that's our vessel. We are used as vessels for God. So we want to take care of our vessel. So we feed ourselves. Hopefully we're eating the right things. That is our goal. But nonetheless, the point I'm making is whatever you choose to feed, and it is a choice. I know that some of you are struggling and feel like it's not a choice, but yes it is. Now there are times where you do need therapy and you need counseling, but I will tell you, as a psychiatric nurse, one of the things and one of the components to when I do counseling or when we do cognitive training or we implement any therapy, our goal is to change your mindset. Right? It's taking you from the challenge, the past issue, the trauma, the incident, whatever you want to call it. It's helping you to have a different mindset. It's taking the things that were useful from that and throwing away, discarding of the waste and focusing on where you want to be or your goals. So let me say that again. So the mindset is the mindset that we are striving for is making a choice not to feed the negativity that comes with either the trauma or the incident, or worse, the attachment that comes with those things. We can't feed them. It is a choice. So I want us to look at this verse. It is Philippians 3:13 through 14. It states this: brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. My goodness, I could have had church on that verse alone, but I'm going to refrain myself because we're not going there. We ain't having church yet. That is something that I'll do on my own at my church, or if you guys hit me up and say, let's do a video where we just go to church, we'll do that. But we're going to try to stay on topic today, right? So I just want you guys to pay attention to what was in that verse. That was power right there. So Paul, which is writing this, says, I do. But one thing I do. That's action. Do is an action word. So that means that every day, consistently, he's doing it. He hasn't grabbed a hold of it yet. But what he's doing is forgetting what is behind. So it takes action to forget and put the past behind us. If you got that out of everything I said, you're on the right track. If you got that part that you have to do, it takes action. It takes pressing forward. It takes consistency. It takes work to forget and put the past behind you. Because if you're looking at the past, you really can't see what's in front of you. And that is an attack from the enemy. When he throws distraction and he throws us these curveballs, it's to distract us. It's to make us leave and forget the seed. But I'm standing and I'm agreeing with you. It is not going to happen. You are going to reap, reap, reap. Okay? If you got that, please let me know in the comment box below and just simply put got it. If you don't want to put anything else, just simply put got it. Or for some of you who are shy, you can go ahead and send me an email if that is your method that you prefer. So with that being said, we're going to jump to the second question. So the second question I got was a few questions, but they all basically said the same thing, just in different form. It was about people who are a little fearful, who are having some confusion and some doubts at this point of the journey. So I wanted to make reference to this. I do have a podcast that I went into this, and I really did just some speaking of encouragement into the audience of listeners. I will leave the link at the end of this video and also leave it for you in the description box so that you can tap into that and just get an earful of that encouragement, which talked all about fear. So what I have for fear is just one statement. Put your faith before your fears. Your faith is 100 times stronger. I can't make a bigger plea. I can't say anything else but put your faith before your fears. Okay? Listen to that podcast. I go into it a little bit deeper, but that is essentially the message. Put your faith before your fears. I wanted to remind everyone that I am doing the 21-day all about the mind, and the whole focus is on mindset recovery and mindset discovery. So we're going to recover some things that you had but you lost, and we're going to discover some things that you have and you didn't even know you have. Right? Because we all possess way more power, and we have source from the living source, which is God. So we possess so much power, and we oftentimes just don't know it. So jump on with me. You'll find that on my Facebook, which I'll leave the link below, and also on Instagram. Breakthrough Platform is where you'll find me. Email me. Again, all of the information, the links will be left below and at the end of the video. It is always my pleasure to come and just speak with you guys. Before I leave today, though, something has been pressing really hard on my spirit, and I have to do it now. If you are watching this and you have had a backsliding moment, or you feel that you are a backslider at this time, meaning that you committed something to God and to yourself, but you find that you kind of fell off track a little bit, or you just kind of lost touch with the purpose, and you just feel like, you know what, I'm not even where I need to be right now. Because for some of you who are trying to do this challenge, if that is the mindset and if that is where you are in your life, it's going to be really challenging. Or if you're watching this and you have never, ever had the pleasure of experiencing Christ or telling God that you accept him, you know him, you love him, and he is what you want in your life, let's take the opportunity to do it now. I know I get on and we joke and we laugh and we talk different topics, but there's nothing more important than the relationship that you have with God, because it speaks so much to who you are and what you think you're even capable of, right? So with that being said, I just want to put this prayer out there for you. And you can say this within your heart or you can say it out loud. Lord, I accept you as my personal Savior. I believe, I receive, I trust, I believe, and I know that you sent your only begotten Son to die just for me, so that I can stop being a slave to sin and be free and have access to the throne of grace. If you believe that, if you said that, we're good. You're good. You have just verbalized and taken the first step to what I tell you will be an incredible journey. You have opened up so much more in your life just by saying that. And I'm going to leave you with that. And I pray that if you have accepted Christ and you never have, or if you are a backslider, and remember that Jesus came to save, so that was his business. He was in the business of saving and restoring. So with that being said, friends, I thank you for being here with me today. I pray that you love yourself and ready yourself for your healing. Till next time.